I'm Darlene and I would like to welcome you to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be making homemade buttermilk biscuits and they will be great. Yay! So our ingredients that we need today are, I have my buttermilk and I have some shortening, some sugar, baking soda, and I'm using self-rising flour, salt, and baking powder. And then we have 1 stick of butter. So that's the ingredients that we need. So let's get busy. Okay. So starting with my flour. I like to always use a knife to help measure out my flour. I'm using the self-rising. You can actually use the all-purpose and that'll work out in this recipe. I like the self-rising. I think that it gives it, I think it rises better with it. And I am adding some of the other ingredients as well that you would put with the all-purpose anyway. I'm making a bunch of biscuits today. When I make biscuits, I make a lot. And my family, they go through it so quick. They love it. I make a lot of the regular biscuits, but it's a treat when we get the buttermilk biscuits. 3. And I'm going to put 4 in here. I'll actually start with 3.5. This is my 4th one. And I'm going to set it aside for the moment. Alrighty, so I put my butter back in the fridge. I want it to be really, really cold when I use my butter. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my other dry ingredients first. So I have 3 cups of flour in here now. Here's my 4th one. I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of my baking powder. So I've got my biggest spoon, the tablespoon, 1 of those, and I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of my baking soda, one teaspoon, 1 teaspoon of salt, okay, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of sugar. You won't really taste it, but it does help on the taste. You won't know that it's in there. Okay. So we have our dry ingredients in there now. So I'm going to stir this up a little bit. Biscuits are kind of a big deal at our house. Everybody loves our biscuits. So I try to make them pretty often. But like I said, it's not always the buttermilk biscuits. It's usually just regular biscuits with the regular milk. So, but they're great. They are great. They disappear. They really disappear here. I like to make a lot of gravy and when we have breakfasts. So it's good to go ahead and get this all mixed up before you put your shortening and your butter in. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put my shortening in. And I need half a cup of shortening. And my shortening is just at room temperature. Your butter, you want it to be as cold as you can get it. Because when it gets all blended in and mixed in, you want a little bit of butter in every bite. It gives it the flakiness in your biscuits. The tender layers. All the different layers that you get in your biscuits. You like that. You want that. So, but I'm putting half. And this works really well too. It gives it a wonderful moisture, tenderness in your biscuits. So anyway, let me find get my spoon here. Okay, get this in here. Biscuits don't take very long. It takes a little bit of work, that's it. But they're worth every bit of your work. They really are. They're great. If you have a pastry cutter, this works wonderfully. If you don't, then you can take 2 forks or a fork and a knife and kind of work with it. And I will show you that. Get this. I'm just stirring it up in the flour a little bit with my spoon. Chopped it up a little bit. And it's just going to stick to it, so you'll get it on you some. That's okay. That's part of it. Making biscuits can be a little bit messy, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Now, I have a pastry cutter, and it's just slicing down into it, and it kind of mixes the shortening into the flour. And that's what you want. This is the hardest part of the whole thing, is just blending it up. And it's not hard. You see that. It's really very easy. And sometimes working with flour, it's kind of cool. It's just, I've heard some people say it's therapeutic. I don't know about that, but I enjoy making things. I enjoy baking. I enjoy creating. That's what I like. Definitely. So, I'll just have to do this for a little while. And what we want is the flour. We want it to become almost crumbly, like a fine crumble. Like a real fine crumble. And it will do some more as I put the butter in as well. I'm going to get all of this shortening in here first. And then I'll take my butter out of the fridge. And then get it in here. Because we don't want our butter to melt. We want the butter to kind of stay into little bitty pieces. That's what gives it the good texture and the layers. So try to keep your butter pretty cold until you can get it in here and get it worked. So now if you don't have a pastry thing and you have to use a fork, you know, you just use a fork and a knife and you just have to work with it like that, and it will take you a while. You can also, when you're doing the shortening, you can just use your hands and mush it up like that. I mean, it works. It's a little messy. Make sure your hands are clean. But yeah, you have to really work this. See how I'm doing my hands? You just have to really work it. You can do it with your hands. You can do it with this thing, your forks, whatever works, but you want to get the shortening and the flour into little bitty crumbly pieces. And this is working pretty good. I like having my pastry cutter. It's convenient. It's wonderful. I bought it years ago and I've been using it ever since. I guess I bought it about 20 years ago. I did. It's about 20 years old. But you can buy these now anywhere. You can just get them at Walmart or any of the food stores. You might even be able to find it at Kroger's. And they don't cost very much either. I think they're probably under $10, but they're very handy if you want to make pastries, biscuits, like I say, pastries for pies. They're very helpful. So if you ever get one and you like to do a lot of baking, these things are great. Okay, this is turning into a wonderful, wonderful and crumbly. Okay. Okay, and I think we're ready to get our butter out. And okay. Yeah, I actually stuck it in the freezer for a little bit because it started melting on me. I want it pretty hard. And now I'm going to cut it in half, like that. Stick that side over there for a minute. And then I'm going to turn it this way. I'm doing this so y'all can see. And cut it. Now I'm going to cut it again in half. It's nice and cold. It's not frozen, but it's nice and solid. Better than it would be if it was in the fridge. See, and I just cut it like that. That one, I've still got this one to do. And I'm going to cut it into little bitty pieces. Of course, not little bitty, but they're smaller. And your butter thaws out so quick, it gets soft. And like I say, that's why I stuck it in the freezer for a little bit. Mine was getting soft because I had it sitting out here. So I decided to do that real quick. And that could be a little hint that helps some of y'all out. I hope so. Let me check my camera. Okay, y'all can barely see the butter. So yeah, it's already getting a lot softer. I've got to get it in here. If you have a food processor, now's the time you could put some of this and the butter into a food processor and pulse it. And that will work really quick for you. I don't have a food processor. Not at this point, I don't. I'd like to get me one. Yeah. but that would make it go quicker for you. But this is part of the process of biscuits. This is good. It's okay. It's not real work. It's enjoyable. If you like to create things, it is. My butter is melting. Not melting. Really getting soft quick. Quick. Let me get that in there first, and I'll get the rest of this butter done up. I'm hoping y'all can see everything. I have a big counter, but I have to keep my camera right there. And it only seems to show this stuff, this right here. Just getting that butter in there now. Now, one thing, you can use only the shortening. You don't have to use the butter. Or you can use the butter and not the shortening. I'm hearing stuff outside. A couple of cats attacking each other. Hopefully not my cat. This is a very important step. Very important. If you like your biscuits to be tender, moist, flaky, then it's important to do this. It's worth it. Your biscuits turn out wonderful. So anyway, this is what I'm doing, and I'm not sure whether I should turn the camera off or just keep going with y'all. I got to put the rest of the butter in. Oops. Sticking to my knife. Cutting it in little pieces. When you take time to get your food and to do things in the kitchen like this, if they take a little bit of time, it's worth it. It really is worth your time to do. And I hope that I'm helping somebody teach y'all. I've had a lot of people telling me, especially, I have this one little gal. She's telling me that she's learned a lot from my cooking, and she's learned so many things that she didn't know, and that makes me feel so good to know I'm helping her and any others. I've had some others tell me that as well, and it's just a good feeling to know that you help somebody else, and that's what I want. And she's a young lady, and well, some of the others, most of them are young, not teenagers, but like young married girls, and they're getting in the kitchen and they're learning things, and I'm able to help them some, and that makes me feel really, really good. I love that. And I really appreciate y'all's comments. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you for sending me pictures of what you're doing and how you're changing the recipes a little bit and how you're able to use what you got on hand. And you're being creative, and that's wonderful. And that's what I want to do, is give you guys ideas. It doesn't mean you have to do things my way. I just want to help out and get y'all in the kitchen. Get you having fun and creating. Yeah. Getting this butter, blend it up. Now I'm going to go ahead and, well, I'm going to have to put the rest of that flour in here. This is getting thick like. See, a lot of young people don't have things like, what did I call that? Food processor, which I don't even have. Then you could do this a lot quicker. But see, a lot of people don't have a lot of the gadgets that are out there. You know, people start out and they don't have everything, and they don't always have the money to go get it later either. Once you get kids and families, and you always put that on your list to go do and go purchase, but half the time never get around to it. So I know that kind of happened to me when I was younger. I couldn't get all that stuff, and that's one reason why I try to do a lot of my foods kind of by hand in the old-fashioned way, because a lot of what I represent is a lot of old-fashioned cooking, good food, and the old-fashioned way of doing it. So if you don't have all the tools, then you can still make it. That's what I like, because that's what I needed growing up. I didn't have the tools, but I still was interested in making things. Okay, that butter's almost incorporated. Like I say, you really just have to kind of work with it. It takes a little bit. It really does. And, but it's worth it. Okay. I've got most all that in there. And I am making a lot of biscuits at one time. If you're doing half of this, then you'll make quite a bit of biscuits. You'll make enough for your little family. Or a few people. Depends on how many biscuits you want. My family eats them like crazy. We're going to do them real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and put this flour in here. Half of it anyway. Half of it. And get this blended up in here. And there are a lot of people that have never made biscuits. I mean, never tried them homemade. I always go to the store and get biscuits. And that is convenient. It is. I admit that. I do that a lot myself. Especially if you're working. But if you have a couple of days off or something, a weekend or whatever, get in the kitchen and try to make you some biscuits. You will have never had as good a biscuits as making them yourself. They have a certain flavor, texture, everything. It is not like store-bought biscuits. They have some good biscuits out there, they really do. But it's not the same. Okay, just cutting this in here. Like, I'm doing a lot in kind of a smaller bowl. So this does make it a little bit more complicated. I gotta make sure it's all the way mixed in the bottom of it, and little crumbly pieces. That's what we want. But if you get some pieces of butter or something that's not really incorporated, and you happen to get a bite of it, you'll like it. It'll just be a buttery bite. But see, this is going to give it the good layers, the fluffy layers. Yay! Okay, so we're doing it by hand. We're almost done. Almost done with this part. And I do talk and stuff while I'm doing it. And like I said, I'm making a larger batch today. You can cut this in half to where it's not so much. But I think when you see how much it makes, and once you taste of yours, you'll be glad you made a bunch. Of go ahead and make a bunch the first time, because you may decide you are glad and you just got, y'all just enjoy it for a couple of days. Okay, this is great. Okay, now, don't know if y'all can see any of it. It's kind of like it's crumbly, no, almost powdery. It's great. It's great. That will be great. Okay, now we're going to start putting our buttermilk in. I'm going to put a little bit more flour in first. I'm going to work with the rest of this in just a little bit. It will go mostly in it after I get the milk in. You'll see. Okay, get it mixed in. I'm really just going down through the side of it now. I'm picking it up to, instead of just using a spoon, which I could do, but I think this is easier. And just get that flour that I just put in into it. Oops. Trying to go off the side. I don't want to lose my biscuit stuff. Okay. Use this spoon for a moment. And I'm going to check my camera and make sure it's okay. Got to make sure it's recording. Okay, good. I always worry about that thing. Okay. Oh, this is great. So just go ahead and spend a little bit extra time getting it in there. You'll know when you just look at it and turn it like I am now and all. You'll know. You may be faster than me. You probably will be. Anyway. But, see, now when I don't stop the camera and I keep going like this, it helps the people that are following with me to know that, hey, that's how long it takes sometimes. You're not wrong. You're not crazy. No, yes, it takes this long sometimes. Different things. Most of the time when I stop my camera, I will try to tell y'all how long I worked with something or how long something baked. You know that. So, okay, I've got everything else in there. I just got to put my buttermilk in there now. And I need to clean up my mess real quick because I'm going to work right here. Be back. Okay, I got that cleaned up. Now, what I'm going to do is put my milk in here. I have my buttermilk. This particular one happens to be a cultured non-fat buttermilk. Normally I get regular fat buttermilk, but somehow I ended up with this one, a non-fat. Let's hope it works out the same. So I'm going to start with 1 cup. Just kind of pouring it down in the middle here. And I'm going to just work with it. Just kind of blend it in a little bit. Don't beat it. That's already in there. Okay. Let me go ahead and get the rest of this milk in here. I'm going to put another cup. I want to get all of the dough stuff in here with a little bit of milk. But you don't beat it. You don't mix this real, not like you do a cake or anything. You have to be really gentle when it comes to buttermilk and making your buttermilk biscuits. You just kind of mix it lightly. Okay, and I'm hoping that you guys can see. I'm using a spatula. I'm not even using a spoon. And I usually mix the everything. I usually mix the crap out of the stuff. I mix stuff too much most of the time. But this buttermilk and this making the buttermilk biscuits, I know that this is something you have to not stir much. So this is going to be great. Just mix it enough. I'm just folding it over. And I think that's probably good. I do not want to overdo this. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is put some of this flour that I had left in my cup. I had just a little bit of it in here. I'm going to put a little bit on the tray instead of on the countertop. You can do it on the countertop if you need to. Just kind of, yeah, like that. And now what I'm going to do is put my dough over on it. Your dough is very wet. It's not a dough, it's not something that's gotten beaten and dry or anything you can hold. I'm just trying to get it all in my bowl. And I am glad that I did not stop my camera because, like I said, I have a lot of people that want to follow along with me, and this is kind of important steps that y'all do want to see. I'm going to put some of this on top, just sprinkle it on top of it, of this flour. I had a total of 4 cups of flour. That's what I'm using. I'm still using the rest of it. This is my 4th cup. And I should not need any more than any of this flour that I've got here. Other than maybe on my hands. Put that on my hands. And that way my hands won't be so sticky. Now I can take this dough underneath. It's real wet, real moist. See that? Look at that. Ooh. Now a lot of people have it's some kind of something that goes down under, it's not a pastry cutter, pastry something, that they can put underneath and it helps them flip it up. I don't have one of those. Like I said, I don't have a lot of the gadgets. Just kind of flip it up, get it on my fingers. I think I could have done with some more flour. On my hands, I mean. You do not want to put a lot of flour on here though, that's it. I'm just turning it. It's wet. It's messy. I could do with a little touch more flour. And I'm all messy. I need some more flour. I can't get it yet. I don't want to waste what's on my hands either. Okay. I'm going to get a little bit and just sprinkle it on. Whoops, a little more than I wanted. This should work though. I don't want to, I'm not putting no more than that. I'm going to pick this up and put it on top of that where that just got more flour in. Pick that part up and put it on top too. You'll learn how to work with dough. A little bit more, not much. The good thing is most of that other was that 4 cups that I used, because most people do end up using more flour. I was just trying to use just the 4 to tell y'all. Okay, I had to do it again. Oh my. Okay, so the rest of that on there, after all, do this out, just kind of pushing it out lightly. And sometimes you'll feel like you need extra hands when you're doing this. Like I said, somebody else to give you more flour. I used 2 whole cups of buttermilk. But that will make sure that it is very moist and that you can see that. Now, I had one of those, I don't know what they called it, pastry knife, something that scoops up underneath your flour and stuff. Then that would have helped. So, even though this looks a little bit messy, this is what you want. You don't want your dough to be real thick, okay? You don't want real thick dough, not for your homemade biscuits. I've got that on the top part there. Whew. Okay, I realized y'all probably couldn't see very well, but anyway, so I got out my pan. I'm going to cook on my stone. You can use any kind of a flat sheet pan, even like that one right there. I'm going to put some oil on my stone. Alright, have that ready. And I'm going to turn the oven on to 400. 400. Start. Okay, so preheat your oven 400. And let's see this. I am going to have to get another pan. Right there. Okay. So now this has that little bit of flour on there. I'm going to barely, whew, it fell off. Okay, have that rest a little bit on there. I got out some more thinking I might use it, but really I'm going to try not to, because other than putting some on my hands. Being that I'm going to just kind of smooth this out now. I'm not going to add anything else to it. I'm not going to try to get inside of it. I'm not kneading it. It's real soft. It's real fluffy. I'm just pushing it out. And there's just enough flour on it to keep, and on my hands, so that I can work with it. Now I want these to be somewhat big and fluffy. Well, I gotta get my biscuit cutter out. If I can find it. I don't want to fill up this whole pan. Yeah, I was thinking it was a different pan that I used to always go by, and I could fill up the whole pan, and I knew how much it made. Now that was a smaller pan. This one here is bigger. So that threw me off a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna get my biscuit cutter. Okay, I got my biscuit cutter, and this is I guess it's a 2-inch wide, 2.5 inch wide biscuit for wide, and then up and down is like I think this is about 1 inch, maybe 1.5 inches. So that's what I'm gonna use. Yeah, because I don't want my biscuits I don't want them too flat. Okay, so I'll show you how much this seems to be. Oh yeah. I can't get it up. Very, very delicate. So the bottom of it doesn't have a whole lot of flour on it, and that's why it didn't want to come up so easy. So I'm going to go ahead and sit this on my pan, because I don't want to pick it up again. I want to let it rest. Okay, so these seem messy, but you want them to be moist. A lot of people are funny about how they're cut. I kind of just take it and do it right into the next one. And some people say don't turn them, but I don't see anything wrong with it. Twisting it a little bit to get it loose. Beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. The back is very, very, there's flour on there, but it's very moist. With the, it's not caked with a lot of flour, okay? You don't want to put too much flour. I hope that you guys saw exactly what I did. I'm glad I did keep it going, because sometimes you have to add a little bit of flour just so you can work with it. But you don't want to add too much. And you sure don't want to stir it in. Okay, let this sit over here. They're going to sit, and they're going to actually rise a little bit. Now see what I'm doing? I took that, it had that right here where I cut it. I'm not real picky, so I just kind of push that over there, smush it in just a pinch, and then I just go ahead and take this and push it right over it, on the outside and that. And I use every bit of my dough. I use every bit of the dough. And I find it better to do this than to have to put a bunch of pieces together and mush them up, because then it will be tougher. But I will do that with the last little bit that's left. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. These are going to be wonderful. Like I said, I just kind of put that all in there together, and I end up with a beautiful biscuit. And see, sometimes it looks like it's already kind of flaking in different parts almost. When it puffs up cooking, it's going to be great. It'll be in different layers. It's going to be great. Some of this is a little fatter than the other, so I'll make it the same. It's all going to rise up more as it's cooking. It's going to bake, but it's going to rise up a little bit on my on that there. I'm going to check my camera. Okay, good. Wait a minute. Okay. I had to double check there. Looking to see how much of my battery life I still had. Okay, get this cut in here. And it's just almost trying to stick to my fingers on the bottom. That's okay, alright? That is okay. I can put a little flour on it, or I can just leave it. It don't matter. Just pat teensy bit on it. Is what I did. I didn't have to. I just did. So. Just a smidgen on my fingers, and just lightly pat a little bitty bit on the bottom of it. It's coming off my fingers. Okay, I just patted a teeny bit on the bottom of it. These are so delicate. These are going to be amazing. They're going to be amazing, y'all. They're going to be good. My family's going to love it. Some people put the flour all over the bottoms and all over the top. It's really up to you what you want to do. It'll be just fine. Your biscuits will be great. And you can kind of mush it together. You know, the little pieces that are left over, I just kind of mushed it together. Some people will tell you that the ugliest biscuits are the best tasting. But actually, these are pretty. These look good. I'm glad. Now, this here, what I should have been doing, I should have told y'all. One thing that helps out with cutting your biscuits. Well, see, I'm not real picky about the cut. But you can dip it down into some flour, and it's supposed to help cut a lot better. I didn't even think about that, but I'm just, like I said, my family just absolutely loves them. They think they're perfect anyway. And they are. They are. So, ooh-wee. That one's very moist on the bottom. It's going to be so good. Just so I can hold it, so it don't stick to my fingers. Beautiful. I told you I was making a bunch of biscuits. I am. I don't like to make a little bitty bit of stuff. I like to make a lot. And that way, everybody gets plenty. When you see me doing this right here, I'm telling you, it's just a little bit on the biscuit. Most of it went on that. These are so nice. It's so fluffy. And when y'all make it, I hope y'all's are just like this. I hope that they are so fluffy and pretty. I mean, just, they'll be wonderful. Wonderful. I know I have several of you, of my subscribers that are going to be making this. I almost know exactly who's going to make it. I know y'all going to love them. I think y'all will enjoy making them. Wow, beautiful. Okay, that camera quit, but I heard it, so y'all didn't miss anything. Put my biscuits over here so y'all can see them more. See? Look how it's doing. They're big and fluffy. They're rising even as we speak. I don't want to put it back there. I'll put it right here for now. You can use regular pans like this. Any of your baking pans will be fine. Make your biscuits in. Beautiful. They're so fluffy. They're so fluffy. Love it. That's kind of like when you see bread at the store, sometimes it's got some flour on the bottom of it. So after you bake it, if you don't like it, just brush it off. But it's no problem. It's cooked. It's baked. Oh, these are going to be so good. Going to be so good. I guess I should be putting flour on my hands. That would help me out a little bit. See, my biscuits, I don't worry about a little piece that looks a little off, because when it's cooked, that thing's going to look good anyway. And you'll see, it's going to look absolutely wonderful. Oops. I'll push it together. I'd rather have it like that than to have a bunch put together and it all be tougher. This right here, see? Now I end up with a real perfect biscuit. It's perfect. It is perfect. Sprinkle a little stuff on the bottom. I didn't have a whole lot of flour on the bottom when I started this. But still, that's better because I would rather do it this way than to have had too much flour. See? If you have too much flour, your biscuits are going to be tough. You don't want them to be tough. You want them to be perfect. I know I do. I'm proud of my biscuits. Oh yeah. Perfect. I'm going to have to make room for a couple. Perfect. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. I gotta make room. That means I gotta move them. Ooh. I don't want to move them. Very gently. Very gently. So it's better for me to move the last ones I put in. I'll try to put it there. Kind of gently roll them, move them around a little bit, if you have to. Really don't want to. But yeah, beautiful and fluffy. It's got a lot of flour on it, but it'll be okay. When it's baking, that flour will actually, when you get done, you can just kind of dust it off. Dust it off. See, I just kind of roll that around this way. I'll just roll this one up into a biscuit. Kind of shape it a little bit, but I'm not doing too much to it. I don't want to smush it too much. I want to be gentle and like that with it. Oh my goodness, yeah. I say that biscuit, that one, like this, oh, I can't even do it now. It's went ahead and went together. I was going to say it'd have a crack there, but it's going to look great. It's getting cooked. Let's see how much I can do here. Almost like a biscuit and a piece. I can smush a piece on another one. Just put it on the top of this and then make this one bigger. And when you go to cook it, that top layer will just be a layer that comes right up and is great. Every bit, y'all. Every little bit I'm using. Smush it on another one. Don't even smush it, just kind of sit it next to it. It'll become part of your biscuit. It'll just be a layer. So, whoops. Now what I'll do is I'll put that on the bottom. Yeah. Now leave it on top. That's great. That's great. Wow. Now I'm going to put it in the middle here because it's going to be a big one. It's a little bit bigger than the others. Which means it'll probably be mine. It'll be the one biscuit that's ugly, but it's the biggest and the best. Okay. Look at that. Now you could take egg wash, where you have egg and a little bit of milk or egg and a little bit of water, and put it on top of this if you want to. It helps it brown, I think. I don't put anything on my biscuits. I put them in the oven just like this. I love it. And when I take it out, I put butter on them. So these are perfect. And I could take, sometimes I'll give it 10 minutes to rest. Let's see, my oven is ready. I think my oven's ready. I'm going to cover it for about 5 minutes with a towel. Okay, y'all. So, double check. Yeah. So, my camera got too hot. So it wasn't just my battery, my camera got hot. Don't usually do that. Anyway, so I just cleaned up. Y'all had already seen me finish up putting all my biscuits on here. I covered this up, just covered them with a towel. I figured I'd wait and see if my camera came back on. So I covered them with a real thin towel for 10 minutes. That's how long, 10, maybe 12 minutes by now. So I'm going to go ahead and put them in the oven. And okay. Don't they look beautiful? Oops. Don't they look beautiful? Look at that. They're going to do great. They're going to do great. Okay. Okay. I'm going to check them at, actually I'm going to start looking at them at about 15 minutes. Okay, so I think they'll take longer, but I want to look at them. So I'll let y'all know how long they take to cook. I think it's going to be about, 20, I'm trying to think how long it was last time I cooked them. I'm used to just watching and looking at them and making sure when they're done I pull them out. So anyway, I'll keep track of the time. I'll let y'all know how long they take to cook. Alright, I'll be back. Okay. Yeah. These are so good. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. There's some big, fluffy, beautiful biscuits. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yum. Yum. Oh, this is wonderful. Absolutely. Get this up here closer. I can see them. Look at that. Look at that. This is wonderful. Now I'm going to butter them. Let's see. I always like to put some butter on the tops. These look so good. Let me see the bottoms. Oh, look at that. Look at that, look at that. Yummy. Oh, they're so soft. Pull that one up. Okay. Yeah, doesn't that look so good? Look at that. It's hot. Very hot. Look at the side of it. You can see inside of it. These were so big that they kind of got, you know, next to each other. That's what makes them even softer though. I think this is wonderful. I love this. I hope that you guys like your biscuits if you make some of these. Let me get this butter on here real quick. This makes them great. They're nice and soft and wonderful. I baked them on 400 for 20 minutes. Okay, and these are big biscuits. I'll show you that cookie cutter, biscuit cutter. I'll show you my biscuit cutter. And I'm pretty sure it's like a 2-inch, 2.5-inch wide cookie cutter, biscuit cutter. Use it for both. Oh, these are going to be so good. I can't wait for you guys to try these. Beautiful. I find this as being an easy way of buttering them. I just do. Just take your butter out a little bit out of the fridge. When you put your biscuits in the oven, go ahead and take your butter out. Let it get a little soft. And then it spreads really easy. Oops. See how some of the little pieces come off? That's okay. It's great. Wonderful biscuits. Absolutely wonderful. Buttermilk biscuits have a unique taste too. It's hard to explain it. If you've never had them, then you need to try them. Yummy. Yummy, yummy. This is going to be great. I'm running out of butter on this one. If you use a regular baking pan, cookie sheet or something to put your biscuits on, it'll be just fine too. Now my biscuits were slightly touching too, and they did rise a little bit more on their own. I think that resting time, I covered them with a towel and let them sit. I think that worked out really good. That was just 2 tablespoons of butter here on this, in this. Oh, yeah, all but one. Oh my goodness. I got all but one buttered. bit more here. See, that butter's colder. See, it's not melting as well. So if you take it out just a little bit earlier, ooh-wee. See this big ugly one? That one's gonna be good. For real. That one and that one. That'd be what somebody call ugly, but I call them good. My family just loves them. They're absolutely wonderful. I think they're beautiful. Put more butter on them. Coat them with butter. Yum, yum, yum. Oh yeah, y'all. These are going to be absolutely great. They're so soft. Look at that. It's soft. It's soft. I got butter fingers. Butter fingers. They're clean. They're clean. Butter. Yummy. Okay, turn all this off. Yay. Okay, everybody, so my biscuits have cooled off a little bit. I want to get one while it's still warm. Yeah, I am so grateful. Yum. I sure hope y'all like these. I really do. I'm going to show y'all one more time. Show y'all one more time. Oh my. Because these are so good. Look at that. Yeah, y'all can go home and you can make you some buttermilk biscuits. Yeah, make your own. I don't know how y'all can see, but hopefully you can see very good. I'm proud of my biscuits. Oh yeah, these are going to be great. So, you guys can make them now. Give me just a moment. Our Father in heaven, I thank you for helping me to create another good dish. Thank you for these biscuits turning out so good. Father, I thank you for all your blessings. I thank you for your love. Thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for keeping me and my family safe and healthy. And thank you for taking care of us, Father. Father, I ask you to bless this and help it to nourish my body. And I ask you to be with me and my family and be with all my viewers and all my friends and loved ones. Father, I ask you to take good care of us. Help us to stay in your will for our lives. Help us to be the kind of people you want us to be. Bless us, take care of us, guide us. Thank you, Father, for everything. Thank you for your Son. I pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, so now get me one of these yummy, yummy biscuits. They look so good. Look so good. Cut in one right here. Yum. Normally I get them right out of the middle, but I think I'll just get this and it looks good. It looks good. It looks good. Yeah, we'll get one in the middle. I made them. I get the one in the middle. That's for sure. Yeah. I get the one in the middle. That's what I usually do. I'm just terrible. I'm going to get the one in the middle. Actually, all these ones in the kind of in the middle here, they all look good. But yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Well, that one looks good too, but this one's even fluffier in the middle. Because the bottom ones, they kind of come out on the side. But that one looks really good too. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. But I get the middle one. Like I said, there's a whole bunch of middle ones actually, but look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful. That's wonderful, and that's mine. Ooh-wee. Yummy. Yummy. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. It's so moist. It's done. It's cooked. Whoops. But it's moist. I'm going to cut it because I don't want to mess it all up. Oh wow. You can see this. Oh wow. It's so tender. It's flaky like in it. It's soft. See, like, I can't tell you. This is buttermilk biscuit, okay? This is good. Let me get some butter on this thing. I gotta get some butter on this. Now I wanted to tell y'all, I normally just use Blue Bonnet or regular, any old kind of butter. It's fine. That's what I use for cooking and most everything. But when it comes to really good biscuits, I like the real sweet cream butter. I didn't try this for years. Every once in a while I would get some good butter and I'd be thinking, darn, that's so good. Where'd you get it? What is it? But anyway, so it's a sweet cream. I just got this from Walmart. Great value. Sweet cream butter, salted. So you get it either way, I guess. Check my camera. Okay. If it made a noise, I thought maybe it quit on me again. Anyway, so if you ever get the chance, some restaurants and stuff, I think they serve the cream butter. This is so good. It's so creamy. It's different from, I guess it's real butter. Real butter. And it's so good. I should have put it on here a while ago. But it's still gonna be great. My biscuit done cooled off a little bit. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be wonderful. Get on there. Get on there. My butter's not that cold. I mean, not that soft. And I do like a lot of butter too. I'm terrible. I like a lot of butter. Especially this good butter. This good butter on this good biscuit. It's going to be so good. Wow. I hope that you guys try this. Oh, I know you're going to like it. These are so good. Y'all can make it exactly like I did. Y'all watched. You know how to do it. Yummy. Ah. Look at that, look at that. Yum. That's buttermilk biscuit. That is a buttermilk biscuit. Wow. Part of that without the butter. I like just the biscuit too. Tear off just that biscuit. I love homemade biscuits and I love warm. When it's warm like this, I should get it out a little while ago. We sat here and cooled off just a little bit, but it's still warm. I like it a little bit hotter. Try to grab it when I can. Wow. That's good. My family's going to eat that up quick. Oh, they sure will. Look at that. That is so good. That's my biscuit. That's the half of my biscuit. Oh, I know you guys are going to like that. Look at it. I wonder if you can see in there. Look how fluffy it is in there. Wow, that's good. That is good. It's just fluffy. It's just good looking. Mm. I got that butter all incorporated in there very well. I did great. I worked it in there. Y'all are gonna like that too. Mm. This is disappearing. That's good. Mm. I like it. Oh, I just like it. Mm-hmm. Now you guys can make them. Now these biscuits taste different than I don't know. Let me see. They're just homemade. They're buttermilk. I like them better than a lot of the fast foods because they're not dry. They're not dry, and I like biscuits that have the moist. It's moist inside. It's not too moist. It's perfect. I just don't like too dry. And that's good. That is so good. Yeah. And I just know y'all are gonna like it. You don't have to go to a restaurant to get good buttermilk biscuits. You can make them yourself. And look how many that I made. By the way, I counted these. There's 20. There was 20 biscuits. If you cut that recipe in half, you'll have 10. And they're big biscuits. They're decent size. They're pretty big. See how big that is? Whoops. Compared to my hand. Look how big that biscuit is. That's a good sized biscuit. That's a good sized biscuit. That's a good sized biscuit. It's a little bit warm. That's a good biscuit. And I told y'all I would show you. Where is it? I lost it. Okay. I told y'all I'll show you the cookie cutter. So this is a 2.5 inch, maybe. There's my hand. Hold up my hand next to it. That's how big it is. And I think it's about a 2.5 inch. I'll tell you in a second. Okay, y'all. It's a 2.5 inch. Maybe a pinch more. Because it comes right there. Just a little bitty bit. If you put that thing on the inside, then I guess it would be. Yeah, 2.5 inch. Cookie, biscuit cutter. Biscuit cutter. Anyway, so I made good sized biscuits. Now, if you wanted these to be taller, you could make the dough in more and make it taller biscuits. And you just want to make sure they're cooked inside. You might have to cook them for a few minutes longer. So if you want them to be tall, thicker than these are, but these are a good size actually. And I think these are great. So it's really up to your liking, what you like. If you want them to be shorter and taller, that's fine. But I like these. These are tall enough. They're 2 inches tall. Yeah, they're about 2 inches, 1.5 inches, almost 2 inches tall. And according to that thing, they're bigger than these are, 3. So they're about 3-inch biscuits after they're done. They're about 3-inch biscuits after they're done cooking. Wide. And they're really good. They're really, really good. So y'all gotta try them. You gotta make them at home. Try some of this good butter on them. If you like. I like to have honey. Now, I really like honey. But I put so much butter on there, I didn't need honey on it right now too. So, and other times I'll just have just the biscuit with just honey. That's good. Now that's really good. I just now got that out. But I hope you guys try them. I really do. I know you're going to love them. Let's see. What do I need to say? Anything else? I want to make sure I tell you everything. Y'all watched me make them and on 400 degrees, 20 minutes. Put some butter on them like I did. Yeah. They'll be great. Have them with gravy or... they're so good like this. We just eat them just like this a lot. Unless I just happen to have gravy or something, but I put gravy over bread. These are too good. I like these this way. So, I guess that's it. I hope y'all liked my video. I hope that this helped somebody in making it. And I'll make some other biscuits that are just with the regular milk. And I really hope y'all like this video. I hope that you do. If you do, give me a thumbs up. Let me know. Leave me a comment. Tell me that you tried it. And yeah, I hope you like it. Subscribe to my channel. That helps me a whole lot. I'm putting out all kinds of stuff every week. Main dishes, side dishes, desserts, breads, pies, everything I can think of. So I really hope that y'all like them. I hope y'all check them out. Yeah, I hope that y'all like them. Thank you so very, very much for watching my videos. Subscribe. Well, until next time, bye. I just want to show y'all something. See if I can open it up. Look at that. Look at that. It's falling apart. It's so good. It's so good. If I can get another one. Oh my, you can just kind of pick them apart. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that good? It looks so good. I hope y'all try these. Yep. As always, bye.